fasting, is it the type of thing that you do just when you're trying to lose weight, or the type of thing that you're trying to do when trying to connect better with God? In today's episode, in Beacon of Hope, we're gonna be talking with Major Richard Sanchez about what it is, the importance of fasting, what it means for all of us as Christians, and the benefit that it have from it. So, Major, if you want to introduce and say a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Major Richard Sanchez. I am the administrator here at the Camden Croc Center. I have been an officer in the Salvation Army for 25 years, and this is our second time in New Jersey. First time as a Croc administrator, and it's an experience.
Yeah, definitely. There is something that I love the first time that I hear you say it. How the Croc Center moves in a different speed and a different time zone even sometimes.
Yeah, and I actually heard this when we were at a Croc leadership conference, Croc Speed. Um, and so a lot of things can happen at the Croc, and it was when they mentioned it at the leadership experience, we were already probably 6 months into our Croc administrator stint, and it just impacted me, and I resonated with it because remember the first few weeks, our CRD director Ben Ovadia, he had me meeting tons and tons of people, tons of agencies, organizations, um, straight down the line. And I remember like the second week, we're trying to figure out when we met this person that seemed like 3 months ago. So now, with Croc Speed, I add the dog years in. So if you've been working at the Croc for a year, it's like actual 7 human years. And so
I believe that.
yeah, I'm sure you do.
I feel like that is pretty accurate. So today is a special episode. We have like a couple things that we normally don't have. I have like a little tea with me in here, and I don't know if you can see, but it's like,
Is this in the frame?
like
Yes, this is my dinner, my breakfast.
he's everything
It's,
at this point.
and it's a literal break the fast.
So Mayor came to me almost a little over a week ago, I think, with this idea of like, well, we want to record an episode about fasting, so why we don't actually fast? And I said, oh, that would be nice. Like, yeah, one day that will be like a great thing. And he's like, no, let's fast for 7 days. And I think I almost passed out right then. It's like, and I just had eaten. So I was like, I don't know if I can do that. So you did fast for a week.
7
So for 7 days.
Yes.
And this is gonna be the first thing that you're gonna eat
This
in
is
all
going
this
to be the
time.
first food that I have. Yeah.
Do you wanna go ahead?
my
I don't want. I see you like in there
I am
salivating.
so ready.
This is about to become an ASMR video.
So, do you want me to get close? I'll get real close to the speaker.
How is it? Is it the best watermelon that you ever had in your entire life? I think it is the best watermelon that he had.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah. It's so good.
It's so good.
It
Okay,
is so
so
good.
I just want to
I'm
say
going to
this.
keep on eating. You can
So-
go ahead and
No,
ask
no,
a
it's fine.
question.
It's funny because I decide not to go in the same route that you. I did intermittent fasting for a couple days to prepare me for do like a longer fasting.
Like Ramadan.
Yeah, something like that.
But you're not Muslim.
But I'm not Muslim.
Even though you
Although
could-
some
you could-
people look say that I do look like I look the part, but so I start like that little, and on Sunday I didn't eat anything. Monday I didn't eat anything, and I was gonna hold on till today to do it, but I couldn't. So Tuesday afternoon was the first time that I ate. So I did like 3 days, and it was interesting because the first thing that I eat was a banana. And I was in my kitchen eating the banana, and I just yelled from the kitchen and said, to my wife, said like, "Oh my goodness, this is the best banana that I had in my entire life." Just
Right.
like, what are these from? Just like Aldi.
Yeah, just right off it's from the gas station.
just there, it's like that's nothing special. But I don't know, it's something special about when you cannot eating for a couple days that all of a sudden all the foods just, I don't know, taste 10 times better.
Yeah, so I mean, just getting into it, when you fast, you give your body a rest. And the 7-day water fast that I did wasn't with any food. If you're going to do a water fast, you definitely want to have electrolytes with it because that's something that you're going to need just to avoid any issues. Because if you have no electrolytes, sometimes you can get heart rhythm issues with palpitations. And you want to try and maintain your brain's clarity. So electrolytes are important.
So I think that was my problem because it wasn't the hunger what made me stop. Honestly, on Tuesday, I actually didn't feel hunger at all after Monday. The second day it was when I kind of like stopped. I did wake up one of the days like in the middle of the night, and that was the first time that because everything was so silent that I could actually hear my stomach.
Right.
And the reason I was awake is one of my babies wake up, so I went with her, and my stomach keep waking her up while she was trying to fall asleep.
Oh my lord.
So I was like, oh no.
That's funny.
But that was it. And but for me at the end of Tuesday, I just had this massive headache, like really really bad headache, and I couldn't get rid of it. And I think that was the key. I think like I was missing like the electrolyte part. So
There's a mix to that too. So
okay.
like after you finish, if you finish like 12 hours, your body starts using the glucose in the bloodstream. Then after past those 12 hours and 12, maybe it's 12 to 24, starts to use the glycogen that's in the liver. Now, once you're past that, your body's going to start to break down fat. And it's going to be visceral fat. And inside those fat cells can be stored toxins. So when your body starts using that fat, some of those toxins get released in the bloodstream. So if you read some literature on fasting, it says once you do extended fasts, anything that's over 24 hours, you might start to feel worse and to expect it because your body's starting to use that for fuel. Not only that, your brain is starting to switch from glucose and glucogen to ketones. So if your body's not really metabolically active and not used to that, it's just going to be a lot of discomfort.
Yeah. So I definitely felt the headache that for sure after Tuesday. I don't know if it had to do with things that I had to encounter here at the Croc or not. I'm not gonna name anybody,
Okay.
but I definitely feel that. But it was a good challenge. It was definitely good. So let me ask you a question, Major. What was that get you into like doing this for the first time? Because this is not the first time that you've done this.
No, this is the second time I've only done a 7-day water fast. But the fasting has just been part of Christianity for the longest. And so when I read about fasting and I learned what it actually meant, at the beginning, this is way back when I first became a Christian, I thought about it. I was like, oh yeah, that's good. That's for the saints. I was in the church probably in my 20s, so I had a voracious appetite. I didn't even entertain the idea of not eating. But then there was the sort of pathways off of fasting where people will fast from this sort of thing or that sort. So, if it's Lent, people are fasting from chocolate or they're fasting from Facebook or fasting from whatever. So the idea of fasting and fasting itself is ancient. So when I got into the church, that was where I was first exposed to it.
I remember for me, I think it was around 14 or 13. My Sunday school teacher introduced us to that when it was a teenager class that we have on Sundays, and introduced us to the idea. And he said, okay, for next Sunday, the way we're gonna practice is like we're gonna do like a 12-hour one, and we're gonna come to the meeting, and then we're gonna eat here.
It's hard for teenagers.
Oh my goodness! It's like I feel like that was at the time that was the hardest thing that I done.
Yeah.
It's like, but it was like, oh jeez. But it was an interesting concept. I definitely seen a growth in church about this concept of like get themselves away of something, get rid of something just for a time being. Some people do soda. Some people, like you say, do Facebook or social media. Some people do chocolate.
Hmm.
Like things that they think that they have some type of control over them, and they're trying to like away. And most of the time, there is always like the general comment is, "Oh yeah, this was really really hard. I didn't realize that I was like." I find myself trying to go to Facebook all the time. I find
Hmm.
myself trying to look for chocolate
Oh
at
yeah.
home or anything like that. Have you experienced any moment that you think, yeah, I'm about to give up right now? It's like,
Oh my Lord. 1,000 times. So let me see if I can open up. There's an app that I had downloaded a long time ago, and it's called Zero. And this will show you how many hours that you have been fasting. So I'm green because I planned to do the 7 days, which is 168 hours.
mm-hmm.
But they also have at the bottom, there's a bunch of articles and things that you can read. Um, but I think as soon as I started, even into like the 24 hours, I started to feel the hunger pangs. Um, I told my wife, I said, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this. And yeah, so there's waves where it comes and it goes. If you start to drink the electrolytes, and sometimes um, you may feel dizzy on standing up. That's when you take sugar or not sugar, sea salt, because sugar will break the fast.
I was about to
You take sea
say.
salt, and it'll help that. But it comes and goes.
Mm. I had, for me, it's interesting. My routine became water most of the day, but for whenever I have like lunch or dinner, I will sit down in the table with my family because we still trying to teach them that to the babies. So we sit down together. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna teach them like daddy can be like outside of this while they are eating.
Mm-hmm.
So I will have a drink from Argentina, which is called mate, which
Mm-hmm.
is like basically like in a type of tea, but the way that it's prepared is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting there and just drinking my mate.
Okay.
For me, that helped me a lot. I don't know if it was a placebo effect or anything like, or it was the fact that it was like a different flavor.
Right.
It was no sugars or anything. It was just basically like a like a type of green tea, something
Mm-hmm.
like that. And that for me, like that different thing, like helped me a lot. Whenever it was some meals that is like, I don't know why this like tuna sandwich smells so good right now. In my life, I had never wanted a tuna sandwich. It's like,
Oh yeah.
I was like, but all of a sudden I smell it and I was like,
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'm kind of like waiting like, to see like the babies to be like, hey, here you have a little bit,
Yeah.
and I was like, I cannot say no, but they didn't offer anything this time.
Yeah, it's the best. I mean, when you go on social media, sometimes you see food, and I started thinking about what egg salad I'm gonna prepare, what sweet potatoes I'm gonna prepare, what
And
steak I'm gonna prepare.
it's like all of a sudden your social media become
Oh,
this like food related thing about everything.
exactly.
Like I got like 15 recipes that I just sent to my wife. It's like, when are you gonna do like an onion soup based
That's right. That's
meat or
right.
whatever? It's like, I don't know, but it's like it's just the idea, It's like it just looked really good. Everything looked really good.
Yep.
It's like I was thinking an egg sound really good right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's just great.
Yeah.
It's like that concept,
Good protein.
the good protein, and it just made me think with all this like food and everything that we were like almost consume. I think either you or somebody else had say that they used to dream about like different food that they will want to eat right before they go to bed or something like
Oh
that.
yeah. I mean,
Right.
I've done that. I think I even dreamt about eating while I was in bed. Um, but yeah, it comes and it goes,
Hmm.
and there is it's a natural part of fasting, and it just shows you how tied in you are with food. And when you do a water fast, rather than doing a fast from a thing like from a chocolate or from chips or from social media, when you do a water fast, it becomes a really, and we've talked about this before,
Yes.
it becomes a really spiritual experience really fast by force of nature. Because
Mm.
once you're fasting past 12 hours on just doing water and electrolytes, um, you really start to question, even if you've read all of the literature, right, where you don't need food for, there's people that have fasted for 40 plus days, um, and on water only. And you know that you can do it. I wouldn't recommend fasting past 7 days unless it's medically supervised. But you know that you can do it, and then you're starting, and you're praying to God, Lord, am I going to die? Because it becomes really really tough.
Yeah. So I have two questions for you. I have one that is like not as Christian related and one that is a little more theological
Sure.
related. So I'll go with the one that is not as Christian related.
Okay.
Um, have you heard about these places where people can go and just like being supervised on medical personnel, and they can fast for like really long periods of time? So like place that they can go to like, stay there and just they give them everything that they need, and they just fast and not end. What are your thoughts in those type of things? Because those are not religious things. Those are just uh, a way of people to lose weight.
Yeah.
That's how they have them. So what are your thoughts in that?
Oh, they're really helpful. If you look, there's a movie, I think, called "Fasting: The Healer Within." It's by two brothers, and they show this place in California, True North Fasting Center. But these centers are really really good. And it's not only in the United States, but there's also places in Russia that have been doing this for years with great success. And there are doctors there. They take the blood at the beginning, and they fast for prolonged periods of time. And if you read what fasting has cured in these centers, you wouldn't believe it and be like, no, this is a lie. You're talking about high blood pressure, you're talking about high cholesterol, you're talking about heart disease, you're talking about um, fatty liver, and there's a whole long list that if you just read it, like this, there's no way that one thing can cure this. And then it's not a pill. So a lot of times we look to try and better our lives by adding things in. Let me add this and let me add that. But if you just remove, and the scripture says, I'm getting into the scripture a little bit
Oh, it's
early,
fine. It's fine.
that we're fearfully and wonderfully made. And so when we allow the body to operate the way that God has created it to operate, then we can see all these benefits. But I think they're a benefit. Again, if you're going to do anything over 7 days, you probably want to go to one of those centers, or talk to your doctor. There's ways of actually preparing before the fast, so that your 7 day water fast, even if you're just going to do like a 3 day or a 4 day, those are really easy to do, and I wouldn't say not much preparation. If you prepare before the fast by doing fruits and trying to remove the fried foods and the processed foods, the too sweet foods or the too salty foods or the oily foods, if you try to remove those